range was so incredible, and I could tell that she was singing it all from here because her face wouldn't even change, no matter how high the note, no matter how intricate.
When Suzanne Somers passed away in October 2023, tributes poured in, remembering her as the bubbly Chrissy Snow from Three's Company, a fitness icon with the Thighmaster Empire and a resilient cancer warrior. But beyond the spotlight, Somers was also a devoted mother and stepmother in a blended family she cherished deeply. She had one biological son, Bruce Somers Jr., from her first marriage, and through her decades-long partnership with TV producer Alan Hamill, she also became a loving stepmom to his children, Stephen and Leslie. While Suzanne lived much of her life in front of cameras, her kids chose quieter, less public paths, though each carved out their own successes in business, film, and design. Outlets like Marca and Page Six have revisited their stories in the wake of her passing, shining a light on how they've honored their mother's legacy while building lives outside Hollywood's glare. So whatever happened to Suzanne Somers' children? Suzanne Somers was born Suzanne Marie Mahoney on October 16, 1946, in San Bruno, California, to Francis Frank Mahoney, a laborer, and Marion Elizabeth Turner, a medical secretary. She was the third of 4 children in a working-class Irish Catholic family. Life at home was not always easy. Suzanne later described her father as a charming, brilliant man who became a monster when he drank. In her memoir, she revealed, "My father would come home drunk and verbally abuse me. I was terrified most of the time, but I also learned early how to survive." Despite the difficulties, she often credited her mother with being her anchor. "My mother was the glue that held us together." At Mercy High School in Burlingame, Suzanne discovered her love for the arts, excelling in drama and music. After a short stint at Lone Mountain College in San Francisco, her life took a dramatic turn. She became pregnant at 18, married Bruce Somers in 1965, and gave birth to her only son, Bruce Somers Jr., the same year. The marriage, however, ended just 3 years later. Determined to provide for her child, Suzanne took small acting jobs while modeling and doing local ads. Her first real breakthrough was a brief but unforgettable role in George Lucas's 1973 film American Graffiti, where she played the mysterious blonde in The White Thunderbird. The scene was short, but it made her instantly memorable. Her true rise came in 1977, when she landed the role of Chrissy Snow on Three's Company. With her sunny smile, comedic timing, and signature giggle, Suzanne became one of the most recognizable faces on television. "I was the girl next door with a twist," she once said of her character. Chrissy was innocent, but she wasn't stupid. She just looked at the world differently. And if you are into classic Hollywood icons, amazing stories, and newly discovered insights, then hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 10,000 subscribers, and your support will mean a lot to our channel. When Suzanne Somers left Three's Company in the early 1980s, many assumed her career might fade. Instead, she turned what could have been a setback into one of the most unlikely success stories in Hollywood. Her reinvention began with Las Vegas shows and TV appearances, but the real breakthrough came in the 1990s with a simple plastic exercise tool, the Thighmaster. Marketed through playful infomercials, the device promised toned legs and quick results, and Suzanne's charm made it irresistible. The product went on to sell millions worldwide, turning her into the face of home fitness. "I laughed all the way to the bank," she joked in later interviews. "Who knew squeezing your thighs together would change my life?" Building on that momentum, Suzanne expanded her brand far beyond exercise gadgets. She launched beauty products, nutritional supplements, and skincare lines, always presenting herself as both a trusted friend and a living example of her philosophy. Her glowing appearance into her 50s, 60s, and beyond kept audiences curious about her secrets. Books became another cornerstone of her empire. Suzanne wrote more than 25 titles, ranging from autobiographies to wellness guides like Ageless and Breakthrough. She tackled topics like hormone replacement therapy, alternative medicine, and anti-aging, often stirring controversy but always selling well. As she put it, "I don't tell people what to do. I share what has worked for me." By the 2000s, Suzanne Somers was no longer just an actress remembered for a sitcom role. She had become a multi-million-dollar brand. Between product sales, live appearances, and publishing, she secured a place as one of the most successful celebrity entrepreneurs of her era. Whatever happened to Suzanne Somers' kids? Although Suzanne Somers built a career as one of television's most recognizable faces, and later as a fitness and wellness mogul, she always said her proudest achievement was her family. She had one biological son, Bruce Somers Jr., from her first marriage, and through her long union with Alan Hamill, she also embraced his two children, Stephen and Leslie, as her own. Bruce Somers Jr. Suzanne's only biological child, Bruce Jr., was born in 1965, during her first marriage to her high school sweetheart, Bruce Somers Sr. Suzanne was just 18 years old when she became pregnant, an experience she later admitted was overwhelming but transformative. "I was just a kid myself," she once reflected. "I didn't know how to be a mother yet. But when I looked at my baby, I knew I had to grow up fast. Failure was not an option." Bruce Jr. grew up during Suzanne's early struggles, witnessing her transition from single mother to television star. Despite being the son of a Hollywood celebrity, he chose a quieter, more private life. After studying at the University of California, Berkeley, he went on to found Summer Media, a brand and marketing company where he became the chief storyteller. He often worked behind the scenes on his mother's books, wellness products, and television projects. Suzanne praised his creativity and intelligence often, saying, "He has such a good head for business and creativity. I'm so proud of the man he has become." Bruce married Carolyn Somers, a writer and producer who also collaborated with Suzanne on her publishing and health ventures. Together they have two daughters, Camelia and Violet. Camelia carried on the family's artistic streak, appearing as an actress on The Bold and the Beautiful. For Suzanne, being Nana was one of life's greatest joys. "Being with my granddaughters is pure joy," she said. When Suzanne passed away in October 2023, Bruce honored her with a heartfelt tribute, calling her the light that guided us and vowing to carry her legacy forward with love and resilience. Stephen Hamill. When Suzanne married Alan Hamill in 1977, she became stepmother to his two children from his first marriage, Stephen and Leslie. For Suzanne, the step label never applied. "In my heart, there's no such thing as a stepchild," she once explained. "When I married Alan, Stephen and Leslie became my children too." Love doesn't divide, it multiplies. Stephen built a successful career in Hollywood as a film producer. He co-founded a production company with actor Keanu Reeves and has been involved in several high-profile projects. Though he mostly stayed out of the tabloids, Suzanne celebrated his achievements proudly. "Stephen is brilliant at what he does, and I've loved watching his career grow. He's as much my son as if I had given birth to him." Leslie Hamill. Alan's daughter Leslie pursued a career in fashion and costume design, showcasing her creativity through various Hollywood and artistic projects. She occasionally collaborated with Suzanne, sharing her stepmother's passion for aesthetics. Suzanne described her fondly as an artist with fabric and imagination. Unlike Bruce or Stephen, Leslie preferred to keep a very low public profile, but she was no less important to Suzanne. "They're all my kids. Period," she emphasized whenever asked about her blended family. A blended family bond. Having grown up in a turbulent household herself, Suzanne dreamed of creating something different for her own family. "I grew up in a chaotic house, and I always dreamed of a happy family," she once said. "With Alan, Bruce, Stephen, and Leslie, I got that dream. That's my greatest success." Holidays, birthdays, and even work projects often included everyone around the same table. For Suzanne, family was not just part of her life. It was the very reason behind all her hard work. After her passing, tributes from Bruce, Stephen, and Leslie highlighted not only her accomplishments in Hollywood and business, but also the love, warmth, and unity she built at home. For Suzanne Somers, the true legacy wasn't Three's Company or the Thigh Master. It was the family she nurtured, the values she instilled, and the love that continues to carry her name forward. Health struggles and final years. Even as Suzanne Somers reinvented herself time and again, her life was shadowed by health challenges. In 2000, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, a turning point that reshaped her public identity. Rather than quietly following traditional medical paths, she chose alternative therapies, a decision that drew both criticism and admiration. "I wanted to take control of my health," she explained. "I wanted to know every option, not just the standard ones." Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Suzanne became one of the most outspoken celebrity advocates for hormone therapy, organic living, and non-traditional cancer treatments. She documented her experiences in books like Ageless and Knockout, insisting she wasn't prescribing, but sharing. "I'm not a doctor," she reminded audiences, "but I am a patient, and this is my truth." At the center of her later life was her enduring partnership with Alan Hamel, her husband of more than 40 years. The two were inseparable, working together, traveling together, and rarely spending time apart. "Alan and I are together 24/7, and I still get butterflies when he walks into the room," Suzanne once said, summing up their rare and enduring love story. In her final years, Alan became her primary caregiver, helping her face the return of cancer with strength and tenderness. When Suzanne passed away at her home in Palm Springs on October 15, 2023, just one day before her 77th birthday, Alan and her children were by her side. In a moving statement, Alan called her the love of my life for 55 years and added, "We never spent a day apart." Life with her was a joy. Her son, Bruce Somers Jr., honored her memory with a heartfelt tribute. "She was the light that guided us, the heart that kept us together. Her energy and spirit will never leave us." Her stepchildren, Stephen and Leslie, also shared reflections on what she meant to them. Stephen remembered her as a second mom who gave me unconditional love and encouragement, while Leslie described her as the warmest, most creative soul. "She made me feel like I had two mothers, and I was lucky for it." For her family, Suzanne was not just a television star or an entrepreneur. She was the glue that held them together. She had once reflected, "I grew up in chaos, and I dreamed of a happy family. With Alan, Bruce, Stephen, and Leslie, I finally had that dream. That was my greatest success." Suzanne Somers' life was one of constant reinvention, rising from a difficult childhood, navigating single motherhood, breaking through as Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, and transforming herself into a wellness entrepreneur whose Thigh Master became a cultural touchstone. But beyond the fame, the products, and the books, she defined her greatest achievement as the family she built with Alan Hamel. Her son, Bruce Somers Jr., and her stepchildren, Stephen and Leslie, carried forward her spirit in their own unique ways, through business, film, design, and most importantly, the love they shared as a family. Her grandchildren gave her a new sense of joy, reminding her that her legacy was not just about Hollywood or fitness, but about nurturing life and connection. Suzanne once said, "At the end of the day, it's not the shows or the money that matter. It's sitting at the table with your family, laughing and loving each other. That's real success." When she passed in October 2023, tributes poured in celebrating her as a television icon and business pioneer, But to those closest to her, she was simply Mom, Nana, and the woman who held them together. Her story remains a testament to resilience, creativity, and love. Proof that even the brightest stars can shine most vividly at home. Enjoyed this story? Don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity deep dives, family updates, and legacy spotlights. What do you remember most about Suzanne Somers? Her role on Three's Company, the Thighmaster craze, or her inspiring family journey? Share your thoughts in the comments.